Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com. The biggest moments.
One man to beat up the right sideline.
See ya, baby.
99-yard touchdown run.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships.
The biggest stories from area high school sports. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. Alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semro, here's Hunter Vaughn.
The first weekend of the girls' tournament has come and gone. They're on to the sectional round of the girls' state basketball tournament. The boys' tournament will get underway on Friday, as this is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semro. And Zimbrick Honda has been a part of the Madison community since 1973. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at two convenient Madison service locations, one on Fish Hatchery Road and the other on Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda-certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires at Zimbrick Honda? Buy 3 tires and get the 4th. For how much, Dennis?
$1.
That's right, just $1. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. Dennis, we're going to go through the girls' tournament as, again, the first weekend of that came and went. And if we look at these Thursday games in Division I for the girls' bracket, it saw Verona handling their rivals in Middleton in a 5-12 matchup with a 10-point victory for the Wildcats, 66-56. Vel Phillips Memorial, they handled business against Monona Grove, 65-37, and a thriller in the east side of Madison as La Follette came back from being down 12 in the second half to beat Kettle Moraine 81-75. So couple of convincing victories, but then an absolute thriller for La Follette.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't that?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Shout out to Scott Swanson and again to the concession stand people that are awesome over there. Good crowd for that Friday night.
Yeah, it was a great crowd, and you and I left that game incredibly impressed with Naya Riak for Madison La Follette. She's a generational talent as a sophomore for the Lancers, and there were a number of times in the broadcast, you can go back and watch it on the ESPN Madison YouTube or listen to it, it was just on the ESPN Madison YouTube on Friday night, but I likened her with the way that she was moving through the paint. She looked like just another version of Giannis playing in there. She would get the ball at the top of the key. She'd take 2 steps with that Euro step and then just be able to lay it in, getting through a triple team, and it just never mattered for the 6'3" sophomore.
Yeah, I'm more impressed with her passing. The fact that she can be an outlet passer. Literally, if you don't get back on defense, she'll go baseline, throw it baseline for a fast break layup. Now you got to finish the layup, and that's always the thing. Going back to my days youth coaching, you get a chance, use the backboard. Don't be cute. They don't dunk that except for her.
Yeah, except for
her
Naya.
now. But so Najawani is just. And she had, I think, it was 6 assists in the game, but cross-court passes. Now, a lot of times, girls and even the guys, that cross-court's like a lob. And you want to start quacking. That's a duck. It's going to get shot down. It's going to get picked off and run back the other way. But she puts a little bit on it, and she finds her teammates. And I think that was what I was most impressed with. Now, when you get up against some of the better teams that can double and triple team her, we talked earlier about she likes to bring the ball on the right side. Well, with the sideline and then with the players, they would try to trap her with 3 or 4. So they tried to get her to bring it down the left side and be able to cut over and try to find some space. But she can handle a ball well enough to be out there as a 6'3" point guard. and seeing her teammates, and she sees over the defense. And when they had, with a team like a Verona we talked about during the year, nobody over 5'7" or 5'8". Kettle Moraine was also a very short team. That's definitely a mismatch. And then inside, on rebounds, I mean, she just has to go straight up. Don't go over the back and make contact. Or, she was careful because, again, with all the attention she draws on from the defenses, she's going to pick up some offensive fouls. So she's got to be careful about that reaching foul or the dumb foul. We saw it with Chris Davis a year ago in the sectional finals, that he picked up a foul in the first half, and I'm like, it's going to cost him. And sure enough, he sat out, and he ended up fouling out before the game ended because it was one too many.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that luckily it didn't affect La Follette in their second round regional final matchup as they went over to Brookfield East, made it over there through the snow and the ice to take on the Spartans.
How was that travel? Because I got up from the 3 days of state wrestling. I come outside and there's 3 inches of snow in my car, and the first thing I thought was, oh boy, I hope Adam and Hunter got home okay.
Yeah,
and Pablo, right?
Yeah,
Pablo was with you.
We made it over to Brookfield okay. The GPS decided to take us off of 94 through Oconomowoc to get to Brookfield because the highway had gotten so backed up. Saw a few cars in the ditch. Didn't tell my wife about that until I had gotten home.
There you go.
So she
Smart
wouldn't
move.
get nervous. Yeah, I'm starting to learn. But then that was a game over at Brookfield for La Follette where the Spartans got out to a 14-3 lead. They hit 3 threes early on in that game. They were just on fire early from beyond the arc. They ended up finishing 9 of 31 from beyond the arc, but the majority of those threes were in the first half. They got out to a 36-16 lead at the half. The Spartans the Lancers were able to at least cut into the lead a little bit. They made a bit of a run in that second half, but they were down 20 at the half, and that was just too much for them against an outstanding Brookfield East team. That Spartans defense is incredible. So La Follette fell in their regional final. The other teams in Division I playing in a regional final saw Verona lose to the 4 seed Mukwonago 72-56, and then the surprising upset of the entire weekend was the 7 seed Vel Phillips Memorial getting a 53-42 win on the road against the Waunakee Warriors, a team, Dennis, that you and I think just about everybody in the state were at least expecting to be playing in a sectional final.
Yeah, they'd won, 8 of their last 9 games going into that one, and that was kind of a stunner. But understand that Tessa Bryant did not play on Friday, and she was hurt, and looking to see what they don't have anything listed on Gobon for their stats, but this was a game where Chanty Davis and Nakira Martin really came through for them. Martin ended up with 7 boards and 16 points. And Kennedy Harden is a really good point guard, 5 assists, no turnovers. So they played a pretty good game overall. That was one where if you're coming in going, okay, Big 8 and Badger, which is the stronger one? Well, I think the Badger Large, this was interesting too. All the conferences this year, boys and girls, that had co-champs.
Yep. And
we talked about that. Which we go in the gym, and now they're putting all the champs up on there.
Yeah.
There's just a number. It doesn't say co-2026.
Exactly.
This is 26. So when people say, well, they shared, no. It's still a conference
in
championship.
4 years, there won't be anyone left in the building that even remembers it, so it doesn't matter.
It's still conference championship. So I really thought that was a good one. Memorial shot 44% from the floor and 53% from three-point range. And with Bryant not at full strength for Waunakee, I think that was something that hurt them.
Yeah.
But she's only a junior. She'll be a Miss Basketball candidate next year.
Absolutely.
But really happy for Marcus Flowers. The pandemic year. Remember that they had that epic battle with Middleton to go to state, and then D1 got shut down. So Memorial's never been to state. So got to kind of be rooting for the Spartans to, for this team and for the coach.
The Memorial Spartans, because they'll be playing the Brookfield East Spartans.
Right.
So a battle of the Spartans in the sectional semi.
We think we have to say Vikings and Cardinals a lot during
Yeah.
we got doubles. That's the first time we had double Spartans, I think. That we've had anyway.
It's going to be a great matchup. Brookfield East 20-6 on the year, playing in a really good conference that has Tosa East being one of the great teams in the entire state. But then Madison Memorial 21-5 on the year. They'll be playing that game at Watertown. That's the great thing with the sectional round is there's no more home court advantage. It is a neutral site for the sectional semifinal as well as then the sectional final. The winner of that Brookfield East Vel Phillips Memorial game, they'll go on to then on Saturday play the winner of the 1 seed Arrowhead taking on the 2 seed Mukwonago for that game in the sectional semifinals. Some other teams that were playing on the girls' side, Division II, Edgewood, they took care of business. They did what we kind of expected them to do. They'll be taking on Milton on Thursday night for the sectional semifinal. That's the game that you and Jesse Nelson will be on the call for that one. That'll be Thursday night. Edgewood taking on Milton. They're playing at one of our favorite places to go, Oregon High School, for that sectional semifinal. And, Dennis, it feels like Division II is where we see a much clearer separation between the top-seeded teams to some of the other teams as you look at the scores around that bracket.
Yeah. Well, Edgewood, again, they started with a really tough schedule, started at 1-3, and played some really good teams. But in that conference, it was it's tough to kind of keep your focus when you're going to beat most teams by 20 or 30. And Mount Horeb was the second best team in that league, along with McFarland, and they ended up losing by 38. And DeForest had a pretty good year, but Milton is a team that's going to be a really good matchup, Edgewood and Milton. Again, Stav, it's tournament time. Sectionals, where's Edgewood? Oh, there they are.
Yep.
And, if they win this year, they'd get bumped up to Division I next year.
And the thing is, with the way we've seen them play against Division I teams, they're capable of
that's the thing where Stav scheduled them.
Yeah.
Scheduling the Arrowheads, and Luxembourg Cascos over the years.
Two, you and I have talked to Coach Stav a number of times, and I don't think she would ever admit it to us, but I think she kind of had an idea of, one, the performance factor was going to be coming, and the way in which she schedules out against teams, that she was like, you know what, we've got to be ready as a program to know what playing those type of teams is going to do and what that's going to be like. So we need to have those within our schedule right away, because like we've talked about, and like we said, you're going to play these high-level teams early in the year. Then, because the conference isn't quite as deep, you've got to try and stay focused and locked in to then make a huge jump up in competitiveness and team size and everything like that once you go up to Division I. And I think this program is definitely in a spot to be able to do that well.
Yeah, there's one more team we need to talk about, Beaver Dam.
Yes.
I love it. Another Donaldson going to Milwaukee, right? Mm-hmm. Natalia ended up with 23 points, 14 rebounds, 8 on the offensive end. Fantastic game there. And they ended up taking out Grafton 67-46. Close game at halftime, and then they just pulled away in the second half. Ended up shooting 43% from long range. And it just had 15-5 offensive boards. So that's a team that, again, we had that streak. Coach Tim Chase was there, Hall of Famer. And the last couple of years, maybe Beaver Dam has kind of come down to the pack a little bit, but now they're starting to make their scent. And the fact they made the sectionals, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool for Beaver Dam to be back to where we've expected that program to be after the last few years. We're going to be talking to somebody who has some ties to Beaver Dam coming up here next, as we are going to be joined by Melissa Gehring from the WIAA. She's one of the assistant directors. She oversees the girls basketball tournament, and with it being the 50th anniversary of the first ever girls state tournament, and that'll be taking place in just 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks is how I would phrase that. 2 weeks up in Green Bay at the Resch Center. We're going to have her on to talk about the evolution of the state tournament and how much it's grown for the girls' game and what fans can expect if they head up to the Resch Center next weekend. So really excited to talk to Melissa coming up next, as we'll have Melissa Gehring from the WIAA on next, as this is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out their full lineup of vehicles and find the one that's right for you, or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
At Hooper Service, your comfort is important. From keeping you cozy warm to comfy cool with the ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System. Plus, join our Home Comfort Priority Plan and keep your air conditioner and furnace running at peak performance year after year. Enjoy priority service and extra savings that really add up. Hooper is here with 24-hour heating, cooling, plumbing, and fire protection service for your home and business. Turn to the experts, Carrier and Hooper.
Looking for an easy lunch or dinner win? Pizza Hut's My Hut Box lets you pick a personalized pan pizza, a melt, and now you can choose wings as your entree. Boneless or traditional wings tossed in your favorite sauce or rub. One box, tons of options, all day, every day. My Hut Box is the best personalized meal combo starting at just $6.99. Head to one of their locations, order on the app, or online at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been dedicated to helping people achieve their financial, tax, and insurance goals for over 30 years. Visit mfgteam.com to learn more about how they can help set up your future for financial success. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
I wasn't sure if I could afford college, and my family couldn't help me. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I found financial support beyond tuition. Even fuel, transportation, and technology has been covered. It's incredible that I'll be able to graduate debt-free. My advice to others, don't let financial barriers stop you. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
This is Coach Greg Gard. Strong teams succeed with the right partners. Bank CMG works closely with Wisconsin business owners, offering local insight, modern tools, and honest guidance you can trust. They take the time to understand your goals and help you build something sustainable. Whether you're managing cash flow, planning for growth, or navigating change, having the right banking partner matters. When your business matters, your bank should too. BankCMG.com.
Join Ortho Team Clinic's Dr. Zachary Lind for Foot Freedom, Tackling Common Issues. A free online talk on Wednesday, March 11th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Learn how the foot works and get practical tips to ease bunions, plantar fasciitis, Achilles pain, and more. Understand when it's time to seek care and how to stay active and pain-free. Register at stoughtonhealth.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text BOUNCE to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text BOUNCE to 215-215. That's BOUNCE to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn. Alongside me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Sumrow. And instead of having a coach on, this week we will have one of the assistant directors from the WIAA, Melissa Gehring, joining us now to talk about the Girls State Tournament. As Melissa, it's 50 years now of having the Girls State Tournament. I want to start with that, and what does this mean for you and the WIAA to be able to celebrate 50 years of girls state basketball?
I think it's a couple things. Number one is the celebration of the history of the sport, really, because obviously basketball, every team gets to partake in the tournament, and we're talking regionals, sectionals, and state. So having that experience, because tournament time, as you guys were just talking about, it's just different. It's the excitement, it's the finality, it's everything that comes along with it. So we're celebrating that for the last 50 years. And what's been awesome about it is the women from the first tournament, 1976, and how much they've been involved in the celebration. They'll be coming back and introduced at the D2 game, championship game on Saturday, and they'll be around the tournament. It's just awesome to hear their stories and how much it means to them, and see them watch the current girls play and just talk about how much it's changed, and how much the game has changed and how happy they are that everybody has the opportunity to play. It's just been awesome.
Well, I was just going to ask you then, in your experience, because you've been in your role at the WIAA for a few years, but then you were at Beaver Dam High School before that. So you've been around high school sports for all of these years. What's changed the most in just the game since you've been around it, or even from what you remember of the state tournament?
Well, what I've always loved about the state tournament since I was younger is getting to March and everybody having it on their TV at this time. Like, whether you're a basketball fan or not, on at the schools. That's one of my favorite things about our tournament is that TV kind of coverage that we have. But when it comes to what has changed and what's awesome about it is just really the skill of the girls. When I played in high school and I played in college as well, obviously, I can picture how everybody was playing, where everybody's at, and I just feel like the skill level in girls sports period has just gone up. They're quicker, they're faster, they're stronger, and honestly more celebrated as athletes. It's not something kind of on the side that the girls are doing that people are kind of questioning. It's part of who they are, just like it is the boys. It's part of their identity. It's awesome to see.
Well, I remember my first girls tournament in Madison was 1984. Jane Lobenstein was playing for Portage, and back then it was like, she plays like a guy. That was the comment. And it was like every team had like one or two players and then some role players, to the point now that when you coach, I coached my daughter and coached youth, that kids play all positions. They're not limited to you're just a guard or you're just this. And everybody carries their weight. It's the teams that win state championships don't win it with just Miss Basketball. They win it with like 3 or 4 all-conference players. And
I agree with you. I was a post player. And again, I played in college. Did okay, but I couldn't really shoot an outside shot. But I'm telling you, the post players I'm seeing now, if you're even a post player, like you said, in some different types of offenses, they're a threat everywhere. You can't not guard somebody and lay off them most of the time. It's just a fun thing to watch.
Well, we just recently had a react from La Follette dunked in a game. Of course, It was the game after we covered, and we'd set the stage for it, so we knew it was coming. But how cool was that, and what did that do for Wisconsin to have that happen?
I just love the fact it got so many people talking. It got so many people realizing that it can happen. And I bet you that clip, whether it was on Facebook or Twitter or wherever anybody saw it, was probably one of the most watched couple seconds of a game. Probably this season for sure in our state so far, maybe for positive reasons. So I think it's fantastic. And the kiddo is going to be around hopefully for a couple years, and we can just watch her grow.
Yeah, and then hopefully it's a dunk a night and it becomes just normal for that to be happening. We're joined by Melissa Gehring of the WIAA. Melissa, as I was getting ready for you to join the show, started thinking back to all of the great moments from this girls' tournament, and, even some of them in the press release you guys had referencing Arike Gumbawale and what she did in that state tournament. Is there a moment for you where when you think about girls' state tournament that just sticks out of like someone's performance or a specific game that you're like, that is the one that I'll always remember?
I think what's interesting about that, Arike's performance, obviously, McCarville and Bast playing in their tournament. I think also people watch personally and connect. I was an Eau Claire girl. The Eau Claire Memorial team was very strong at the time. And I don't know how long you guys have been around or the names you remember, but Katrina Hannaford was my idol. Yes, and to me, watching them play in that tournament all the time was just so cool for me as a young girl. And I think that's what people realize. One of my other favorite personal memories is just last year when the Tyrion twins, I understand they weren't playing, but they were there. And the line of people, little girls, little players, that went all the way around and up into the bleachers just to get their picture taken with them, and some of them asking for their autographs. And that's when I sit there like, this is what this is all about, because they're awesome kids. They're great basketball players, but they're awesome kids too, and great role models. And I think that's kind of the cool part, is everybody can find their role model, watch on TV if they've never seen them before, and kind of link to that. And these people are good people as well, and successful women now too. So.
Well, I was at the Janesville Parker Middleton game, Middleton being my school district too, but as a reporter when they sold out the field house. And Waunakee was the Division II. That was when it went 4-3 in the afternoon, 2-1. And then the WIAA had to flip it because of the attendance that night, trying to, get a few more for the other game. But that was so cool to have that. And you look at the different facilities the girls have played in. Now, we miss them in Madison, but how important has the Risk Center been, and the response that whole community at Schwaben on Green Bay provided the WIAA?
Green Bay, the people that are there from Discover Green Bay, the hotels, everybody has just welcomed us with open arms. At least even from my tenure here, but also I hear the history of when the tournament went up there. They're fantastic. They're fantastic hosts. I know we get a lot of people that obviously Madison is really a fun atmosphere. Love being in Madison. There's so much excitement down there, but there are people that talk about coming off the interstate, driving towards the Resch Center, and you see Lambeau. The first thing you see is Lambeau Field. It's just very big to people who have never seen it before. And then you get to the Resch, it just kind of starts that excitement. And the district right outside of the Resch Center now, ever since the draft, There's a couple more restaurants, things like that. It's building up. So it's really a great place to have a tournament. Parking's never an issue. It's really a good place to be.
Well, and you mentioned that atmosphere up in Green Bay. For this state tournament this year, with it being the 50 years, is there anything else fans can experience while they're up in the Resch Center?
Yeah, we are really excited about the fact that, and it seems so simple, but we have buttons. Buttons for anybody who's ever played. So if you come to the tournament this year and you played WIAA girls basketball, you will get a commemorative button that says you were part of the history of this. And as simple as that is, I was at my first Fever game, is kind of where the idea came from, just last summer, and they gave me a button, and I was like wearing that around just so like, hey, it's my first game. But for people to wear that, identify, and be able to recall those memories and everything I learned, that's it. And then we have them for youth too, as part of the future. So it's just going to kind of make a connection to everyone that will be there. That's been players. We're also going to introduce some of these 1976 players and coaches, just so people can see 50 years. And we have some of the clips. The clips are in black and white. There was obviously color TV, but our clips are in black and white. One of the officials is wearing a skirt. Everybody thinks it was so long ago and so far in the history, but when you see these women walk out, they were out shooting baskets last week at a local celebration. They are, some of them are still working. This wasn't all that long ago when girls actually just started to have the opportunity to play. So I think that's really an eye-opening thing. We're going to introduce some of our former WNBA players that are back. Some of our current, obviously, are busy playing on Rival and things like that. So we can't get any of our current players back right now, but we got past ones coming back. And then we're going to celebrate our coaches. We have the top 10 winningest coaches in the state of Wisconsin have so many years of experience. Matter of fact, I should have added it all up. And the time that they put in, if there's only been 50 years of basketball, there's a couple of them that have already put in 36, pushing 40 years. And they've been part of it the whole entire time. So we're going to celebrate them as well. So if you're there, there's some great things that are going to be happening. We'll have a wall, kind of a little tribute wall that people can go and write kind of some thank yous to people who have influenced them too. Just lots of different things going on.
Well, you mentioned in that the future of basketball. So what do the next 50 years of basketball maybe look like? And, maybe as somebody that's a fan of it, a shot clock maybe at some point?
I knew he was going to bring that up.
That's okay. It comes up all the time. I hope that the next 50 years we start to see an uptick of high school participants across the entire country. The number of individual players, the teams have stayed very close to the same, but the number of individual participants has gone down in high school basketball. I'm hoping with the popularity of the WNBA, the television coverage of college women's basketball and sport, that starts to uptick. And I hope this celebration actually inspires some of those girls to keep playing. We're losing them before they get to high school. They're deciding not to play before their freshman year. So as long as we can get them to high school, then maybe we can hook them and get them to stay. So there's that. The shot clock, if you can make an argument for me that will help increase the numbers in girls basketball, I'm all for it. But I don't know. We don't know. So that's something that we keep working on with the association. We're very, very close, I think, to being able to maybe at least have some people use it when they want to. But that is through our rule change process, starts with our coaches association, and they will meet in April. So we'll see what happens with that.
Besides just shot clock, expansion of the state tournament coming. Do you see that happening, or what's it going to take for that? I know the pros and cons for it, but what do you think from an association standpoint? What would you like to see?
I think the only thing that we're looking for is we want the experience to be the same great experience for everybody. And if we expand it so much that we're not at some of these great venues, we're not on TV, some of the things that make our state tournament super special, I'm worried that is probably not what we want to do. So we will see. I know the association's working really hard on their proposal. That again would happen in April, and we'll see what happens. I know there's room for some games. We'd have to sacrifice the 3-point the 3-point contest Saturday morning. We have some spot for some games for a little expansion there for sure. Doubling it, like I said, we'd have to prove that it can be the same experience for everybody.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. And congratulations for you and the WIAA getting to celebrate this awesome milestone.
You never did ask her the Beaver Dam question.
Oh, my gosh. I completely forgot. I was looking at the clock, and that was all I was thinking about for a moment. Yeah, we couldn't let you go without getting to talk about, we'll keep it to just the boys' side of things since you oversee the girls' tournament. But Beaver Dam boys basketball having a great season this year, and you having the connection to that school district for a number of years. It's got to be exciting to see the boys also playing well.
It is exciting. I appreciate what you're doing, keeping me away from the tournament I oversee. But yeah, you know what? It's awesome to see. And I think anybody gets this who works in a school and works there for a long time. You see the kids that were running around as little peanuts running around your games and at the youth tournaments and stuff. And then you see them in high school and you see them doing well. You can't help but be quite proud of them. And then, of course, Tim Ladder, the coach there, has been the coach there for a while. In my 12 years as AD and my whole 22 years, almost the entire time. So I wish him the best too. He works very, very hard to make sure that program is where it's at. So I am happy for them.
Well, now, Melissa, thank you for your time this evening. We really appreciate it. And have a great time getting to celebrate your sport. And I know we're going to get an awesome tournament up in Green Bay in just a couple weeks.
Thank you, guys. And thanks for your coverage and everything. We really appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
it. Of course.
Right. Thanks a lot.
Again, that was Melissa Gehring from the WIAA. 50 years of having girls basketball. You know, I talked about this, I believe it was with Adam Mertz, as we were talking about the fact that it was the 50 years on our broadcast on Saturday. And one of the things, my grandpa was a girls basketball coach at the middle school level. And when the sport first started, he told me about how the girls could only take 3 steps, like they could dribble, but it was 3 steps and then you had to pass. That was because the rules were different for girls to boys basketball, and just how different things were back when the sport first started.
Iowa, where you had 3 on half court, and 1. It was like you couldn't run up and down the court. You had 3 on offense and 3 on defense. And when I was growing up, I thought that's so strange. I went to Dominican high school my sophomore year, and the girls, this was back in the 70s, just starting. So they had the intramural guys who went up against the girls' team. We had to play them with one arm tied behind our back, whatever our dominant hand was. So I'm right-handed, so I could only use my left hand. And I'm like, that's disrespectful. What do you mean? But somebody thought that was a good idea. How far we've come now that you go to a girls' game and the girls have we talked about playing below the rim, fundamentals and everything else. And hopefully now our Wisconsin program close to home will be making some major strides. So it was good to see a lot of girls out for that on Sunday.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see this, how much the sport has grown, even just in my younger lifetime here in the state of Wisconsin. Again, 50 years for the girls' state tournament. When we come back, we're going to look at our Pizza Hut Power Rankings. It'll be our final one of the season for the girls. We've got one more for the boys, so you don't want to miss that next on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
More of Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly coming up next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN.
Giannis going down the lane. Look out below. A big one-hand slam.
Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks.
In Giannis Antetokounmpo's first game back from injury, the Bucks dropped their 3rd straight game, falling 108-81 to the Boston Celtics. In his return, Giannis tallied 19 points while also adding 11 rebounds. Here's what head coach Doc Rivers had to say about the team's 3-game skid.
You know, we were playing great, and we've kind of lost our way, and I think it's on both ends. I think offensively we had a great rhythm, and we've done it in spurts in the last 3 games, but we haven't been able to sustain it.
The Bucks will play Game 2 of their 5-game homestand on Wednesday night against the Atlanta Hawks.
This has been your Milwaukee Basketball Report on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. You know that honey-do list that's been sitting on your counter since what, 2020? Yeah, we can handle that. From leaky faucets to light fixtures, our handyman team at Bruner Realty fixes it all. Fast, friendly, and done right the first time. We take care of it so you don't have to. Visit fixedbybruner.com. That's fixedbybruner.com. Because your to-do list deserves a happy ending.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pello windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pello Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. Our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. Call 608-220-0005 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
At Hooper Service, your comfort is important. From keeping you cozy warm to comfy cool with the ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System. Plus, join our Home Comfort Priority Plan and keep your air conditioner and furnace running at peak performance year after year. Enjoy priority service and extra savings that really add up. Hooper is here with 24-hour heating, cooling, plumbing, and fire protection service for your home and business. Turn to the experts, Carrier and Hooper.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Thank you again to Melissa Gehring from the WIAA for taking the time to join Dennis and I as, again, the girls' state tournament turns 50 years old. They'll be crowning their 200th champion ever when they crown the Division I champion for the girls tournament, which is also just that's a crazy stat to think about, that it's 200 state champions for girls it'll end up being. But now we've got to talk about our Pizza Hut power rankings. Again, each week we go through as a team and we power rank the top 10 area teams from the Madison area. So these are schools from the Big 8 Conference, the Badger Large, Badger Small, Capital North, and Capital South Conference being the conferences in the Madison area. First for the girls' power ranking, as we start down at number 10, it's Janesville Craig taking up that 10 spot. Then the Monona Grove Silver Eagles at 9, the Verona Wildcats to number 8, Madison La Follette dropping down to number 7, Lakeside Lutheran is at number 6. The Waunakee Warriors checking in at number 5. The Milton Red Hawks moving up to number 4 as they're playing in a sectional semifinal. Also playing in a sectional semifinal, the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers. Then number 2, the Edgewood Crusaders, and it's a brand new team at number 1 for the girls' Pizza Hut power rankings, the Vel Phillips Memorial Spartans, after their big upset win over the Waunakee Warriors. Dennis, you were a little surprised to see Vel Phillips Memorial take over that one spot.
Yeah, I guess so, because Edgewood handled them pretty much. You know, we saw them back in January. But that was a big win, though, for them to get to the sectional semifinals. Mm-hmm. And Edgewood, of course, they just kind of rolled over Mount Orab in that one, in their regional final. But, the fact that 4 first-place votes for Edgewood, 1 for Waunakee, and then Memorial won, but Memorial's in first. So somebody didn't like Madison Memorial in one of our polls.
I'm not going to throw that person under the bus. I looked
Edgewood,
into it.
That's what opinions are for. So, Memorial's had a great year. So for them to be up and finish up our last one at number 1, we'll see who makes it to the sectional finals and then maybe gets to the Rush Center.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If they couldn't win that game against Brookfield East, if you're Vel Phillips Memorial, the momentum from that's going to be a ton to be able to carry them to what would be a really difficult and challenging sectional final against either Mukwonago or Arrowhead. Our producer, Owen Dimfel, just because I thought it was a no-brainer to give Madison Memorial the #1 spot on this girls' Pizza Hut Power Rankings. You're one of the voters in this as you produce this show, and you're at almost all the games as a video producer as well. Did you have Edgewood at #1 as well?
Correct. I had Edgewood as my #1 team.
See, I honestly thought it was going to be unanimous. I went through mine, I don't check on anybody else's before I do this. I went right away and was like, well, Memorial's #1. They just upset Waunakee. Of course they'd be #1. They're playing great basketball to be able to beat a team like Waunakee. And apparently I was in the minority with who should be the #1 team.
Well, when I was told that Tessa Bryan was the great point guard for Waunakee, was not at 100% and missed a game, and she was hurt, I thought that might have had a little bit of factor in Waunakee not being able to pull that one out. So, and the fact that I just like Edgewood's 1-2 punch with Beanie Thompson and Anna Miller, and now the role players have started to really pick up. So, but again, Edgewood, they played a tougher schedule, I think, than Memorial. Mm-hmm. But again, Memorial, you look what they've done in the Big 8 this year, and now they're in the sectionals. So I have no problem with either one. It's just that I thought Edgewood, but I picked Memorial #2. So
this is the Pizza Hut Power Rankings. Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker pizza is just $10 for a limited time. An extra-large pizza with 6 huge foldable slices and bold New York-style flavor. Big size, big value, just $10. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut, the official pizza of PrepMania. We move over to the boys' Pizza Hut Power Rankings, and we've got a team coming back into the top 10. Sauk Prairie at #10. Then Lakeside Lutheran also in, the boys and girls. Lakeside Lutheran in the top 10 at 9. McFarland's #8. The Beaver Dam Golden Beavers at 7. The Waunakee Warriors are our #6 team in the Pizza Hut Power Rankings for boys basketball. The Mount Horeb Vikings #5. Then the Verona Wildcats are our #4 team. Lake Mills, the L-Cats, falling 1 spot from 2 down to #3. And then Madison Memorial also falling down 1 spot from #1 to #2. And the team that beat Madison Memorial to finish up the regular season and get co-Big 8 champions, the Middleton Cardinals, coming in at #1. Now, Dennis, we post these power rankings across all of our social media. And as some fans saw our boys' power rankings, we were accused of glazing Middleton. What are your thoughts on that?
Glazing?
Yes, that's what the kids say. Glazing. Are we glazing Middleton by putting them #1?
Yeah, they had a great game against Madison Memorial. Now, it was the first time around they got
it was a 25-point Spartans win.
But senior night and whatever. Interesting that Middleton jumped up to 1, then it pushed everybody down. Lake Mills went from 2 to 3, Verona 3 to 4. Then Mount Horeb ended up at 5. Waunakee's the one that took a little bit of a drop this week. 4 first-place votes for Middleton and 2 for Memorial. I think that's how hot you are at the end of the season, and this is a power ranking for this week. It's not a whole season thing. Mm-hmm. It's who's hot right now. Well, Middleton beat Memorial, so they should be ahead of them.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of our voters, I know I approach it this way, and it'd be interesting to hear from you, Owen, as well as you, Dennis, on this. I approach it from, if I'm taking all of these teams and I'm saying, okay, Middleton and Memorial just played. Middleton beat Memorial. If they weren't playing this week, I'd say, who do I think would win that game if they were to play this week? And then I think about it, do I think Lake Mills could beat Middleton? I literally think about, from all of the area teams, if they were to play anybody else, who could actually beat them? And then I do the same thing going through. That's the way I view these power rankings, as I think I had Middleton at #1 in mine as well, so I said they're the best team. Do you guys view it that way, or have you taken a different approach?
I've been around the approach of who's the hottest team right now. Yeah. I'll admit, maybe Middleton isn't my top pick, I still voted them first because they beat the top team. That alone, from me, is going to put you into the number one spot. You just beat the number one team. I'll reward you with the number one ranking.
Well, I think it's interesting to look at it. Middleton Memorial, co-champs. Lake Mills won a conference title. Mount Horeb and McFarland, Sauk Prairie, they all shared a title. Beaver Dam, Waunakee, they shared a title. Lakeside, they were second. Okay. They're the only,
yep.
But all really good teams that any of them could have a good run here in the playoffs.
Exactly. I look at this boys' power rankings right now with these 10 teams that you can see on the screen on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel or the Daily Dodge YouTube channel. If you told me any of these 10 teams were to make it to the Kohl Center in a couple of weeks, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I can see the path for any one of these teams to be able to make deep runs into the playoffs and be able to play at the Kohl Center. They are all good enough teams. They have players that can take over games, which is what we see all the time when it comes to the tournament, is if you have a superstar player, whether it is a guard or a big, they can absolutely take over and dominate games and carry you through these first few rounds of the postseason. And every one of these teams are absolutely capable of that. So I think we're going to see multiple teams making it to the Kohl Center in a couple of weeks because of how good Madison area basketball is this year. Do I think anybody's going to beat Wisconsin Lutheran, who's undefeated right now? Probably not. But I think they're going to give them a run for their money. I think Lake Mills in Division III will absolutely be able to compete with a Freedom or a Seymour. Every one of these teams will be able to play competitive basketball at the Kohl Center.
Yeah, look at Division II, Port Washington and Slinger 1-2 in the poll. I really like Slinger, seen them a few times during the season. That's one I'm wondering. I saw their matchup with Mount Horeb, for example. So, I think our teams, they can hold their own, and you need a little bit of luck when you get to the playoff times. You got to stay healthy. Unfortunately for Memorial, one of the Ligon brothers is down with an injury, and that could affect their run just because you can't go all season and all of a sudden the last week or two now you got to make some major change.
Yeah,
it's one thing if you're making a tweak. It's another if you're replacing a starter this late in the game.
Yep, and that injury is a TBD. We're not sure when he'll or if he'll be able to return. So that is a big question mark around the Spartans as we head into the postseason. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. The lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world, organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. We look ahead for our PrepMania on Deck segment next as we wrap up Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly on ESPN Madison.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker Pizza is back. For just $10 for a limited time, get an extra large pizza with 6 huge slices so big you have to fold them. Load it up with your favorite toppings, like the classic and crispy pepperoni. It's the perfect way to feed the crew with giant slices and one legendary vibe. Big size, big value, just $10. Head to one of their locations. Order now on the Pizza Hut app or online at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Wrapping up Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, I'm Hunter Vaughn. Alongside me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Sumrow. We're also brought to you by Midwest Financial Group, and the lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world, organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. Dennis, as we always do to wrap up our show, we look ahead and we have a pick for a game that we're excited about. Maybe it's not one that we're necessarily calling, so we have a ton of games coming up here this weekend. We'll have 4 games over 3 days on our ESPN Madison YouTube. But what's a game that you're looking ahead to?
Does it have to be basketball?
It doesn't have to be basketball.
Well, what's going on in Middleton this weekend? State hockey tournament.
Yep.
And Edgewood, the defending state champion, is getting University School Milwaukee. And I coached baseball in the Nicolay system back in the 80s. And University School, we had some kids that was pretty big rivalry. That's the Edgewood of Milwaukee. So that one I'm looking at, and Waunakee made it in Division II. So I'd say hockey, and what makes it important is it's over at it's now called the Bob Suiters Legacy 20 Arena in Middleton.
Yep.
Fantastic place.
Yes.
You did games there. So I thought, let's give a shout out. We just had wrestling. Team wrestling is over in La Crosse, out of the area, but hockey and Edgewood going for a repeat. I think that's the game. They would play University School at 2 o'clock on Friday, and the championship game would be at 7 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, that is Dennis's pick. My pick, real quick, the 5-seed Middleton Cardinals hosting the 12-seed Janesville Craig, a conference game in the regional semifinals. I love it when we get conference teams playing each other in the postseason. As we wrap up Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Browse their car selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. Next week, Dennis and I react to the teams that will be going to the girls' state tournament, and we will react to the boys' regional round of their tournament. That'll be next week on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been